Revelation.
Oh, Revelation.
Right.
Okay.
Those are the two primary books in the canon. But the little apocalypse, which is Mark chapter 13, and almost all of the writings of Paul, in fact, all of the New Testament is influenced by apocalyptic and its visions. Because, remember, the Old Testament was written over thousands of years, but the New Testament was written in about a century. And during that century, guess what worldview and literature predominated in among the Jewish people and the early Christians? Apocalyptic. So everywhere you see apocalyptic ideas and references and writings. Every book of the New Testament. Let's talk about the features of this very important and influential literature. First of all, the first thing everybody notices about apocalyptic is how dramatic it is. The images are bizarre and powerful, as I said earlier. For instance, Revelation 9, 7 through 10. In appearance, the locusts were like horses equipped for battle. On their heads were what looked like crowns of gold. Their faces were like human faces, their hair like women's hair, and their teeth like lions' teeth. They had scales like iron breastplates, and the noise of their wings was like the noise of many chariots with horses rushing into battle. They have tails like scorpions with stingers, and in their tails is their power to harm people for 5 months. Now, it sounds like a helicopter, right? Which is what modern people are apt to say, oh, that's a helicopter. What did that mean to the ancients? With every new era of technology on the battlefield, the book of Revelation has been reinterpreted to fit the latest technology. Because the feeling of apocalyptic, and those who read it and love to interpret it, is usually even though God gave this as a message of hope to Christians living in the first century, God was really talking about right now. Now, there's a weird theology in that, because it says that God gave a message of hope to people who were suffering by saying, don't worry, 2,000 years from now I'll intervene and make a difference. Nevertheless, it has that power because people still have that emotion of being oppressed, of not having a voice in what happens to them and the powers that do damage to their lives. And that's a part of what gives this language its power. It expresses the emotion of an oppressed people. It also is a kind of code language. It would have been very dangerous to say, to even talk about Rome. But the dragon with 7 heads in Revelation 12, can you think of an empire in those days that had 7 heads, or its capital city?
Rome.
7 hills of Rome, right? Mm. It was much safer to talk about Babylon, which had, because this was